Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography Podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. You've got a story to share, a message to inspire, and a passion ready to ignite. But where do you start? The world is waiting for your voice. With From Idea to Implementation, Start Your Own Podcast, you'll get the roadmap to turn your vision into reality. This isn't just a course, it's your launching pad. Step by step, we'll break down the process from defining your purpose to recording your first episode so you can finally share your voice with confidence. Stop overthinking it and start doing it. Your voice has the power to connect and lead. Are you ready to use it? Join the waitlist today. Your podcast journey starts now. The world is waiting. You can find the link to sign up for the waitlist in the show notes. We'll see you soon. Hello there, Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography Podcast. Today, my guest is Dawn James. She is a best-selling and award-winning author, a public speaker, a retreat host, a certified sound healer, and a newly crowned life coach. Welcome, Dawn. How are you doing today?
Oh, thank you, Brad. Always a pleasure speaking with you. I'm doing fantastic.
Excellent. I love hearing that. Thank you so much for taking and making the time to be here with me today. I'm looking forward to jumping in and sharing all about the beautiful light you put out into the world through the work you do, a little bit about your journey, your story, and all of those beautiful things, all the beautiful things, Dawn. So with that being said, let us jump right in. As I mentioned, you are a sound healer. What initially drew you to the practice of sound healing, and how did you realize it was your calling?
Since I was a young girl, I've always loved music. My journey into sound started at age 8, and I was playing piano, tinkling. My parents got me lessons, and by the time I was 9, I had joined the Royal Conservatory of Music.
Within a year?
Yeah, I was 9. Yeah. Teacher said I'm ready. I said, okay. So I had a 10-year stint with them. I played piano, I composed, and then life got in the way. You're 20 something and you're working, dating, etc. I put that aside. In 2003, I had a profound life-changing event. And that's when the need to go back to something soothing came to me. My spiritual awakening was very intense, very abrupt. I started following and studying different healing practices, but each time, Brad, I kept going back to sound, music. So I did study formally at 2 organizations to become a certified sound healer. That's been my blessing and practice since 2005.
So what inspires you the most about the work you do as a sound healer?
For me, it's a 2-part answer. It's how I feel when I'm holding space. Like my heart just gets really full. I love that feeling of just being fuller, right? And the most important thing I've noticed over almost 21 years is how people change, witnessing the changes, the transformations. And I don't just mean physically. People go, oh, I feel so calm. I feel so peaceful. I'm talking emotionally and energetically. It's like they just open up and they get to this peaceful place, and then magic happens. And I've seen all kinds of magic during group sound healing. The magic can be oftentimes people, they get to such a deep state of relaxation that they begin to open up their receptivity. A lot of people get messages from loved ones who have crossed. Some people are visited by loved ones. This is all happening in a group sound bath. I've had people tell me that, oh, I came in and I had a pain in my shoulder and now it's gone. Or I had a pain here or a headache and it's gone in less than 40 minutes. The power of sound to shift us, transform us, to heal us, to reduce pain, to open up our senses. It's magic. I love being in that space.
I mean, let's be honest, the power of the arts is incredibly healing, whatever art form that may be for each individual. Sculpting, music, painting, drawing, photography, all of it is so healing. That's, I think, we need to bring back arts programs for kids. We need to get them into the schools in primary school, like in
Yes,
grade 1, 2, 3. Start there. It's so essential, I think, and it helps kids grow.
I agree. It's when you talk about bringing the arts back to school, it's unstructured expression of self.
Yeah.
I mean, in a nutshell, and you don't have to know how to play piano to make some noise. You don't need to
No.
know how to drum to hit some sticks and drawing and coloring. But, I still remember being in school and they give you these shapes and go, stay within the lines.
Yes. Yes, you
Why?
must color within the lines.
Let's go back to like, how about there's no lines? It's the
Yeah.
canvas is the entire paper.
This is where
People,
the conditioning started, right?
yeah, we all need unstructured ways to express ourselves because we came here in a very unstructured way. We That's part
Mhm.
of our human nature, and that right side of the brain is being so restricted
Mhm.
for many reasons. We really need to open that back up, like you
Yeah.
said, with the art and creating sound and drawing, painting, all of the above. It's great.
Kids, when they're growing up, they don't think about the rules when it comes to painting or drawing, or they just do what they feel or whatever comes to them but as they grow older and become conditioned, it's
Hmm.
like when they become adults and you ask, give an adult a paintbrush or give an adult a crayon or whatever it is. I'm not artistic. I can't create anything artistic. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. Yes, you do, because when you were a kid, you did it. At
That's
some point,
right.
you colored, you painted as a
Yeah.
kid. It's been conditioned and tamped down within you that you forgot how creative it is. And you
Right.
forgot how to be a kid.
Yes. You forget how to be a kid as an adult, and I think you also start believing what you're told as opposed
Mhm.
to when you're born. There's no rule book. I'm just
No,
gonna have fun making a
for
mud
sure.
pie or whatever.
Building a fort out of pillows, whatever the hell it was, building a tree house, climbing
Yeah,
trees, all of those
yeah.
things, right? Playing in the mud, playing in the rain, all of these things we
Brad,
forget.
you know what? It sounds like we need an adult park.
Yes, we do. I was talking to someone about that about 2 or 3 years ago, and she was saying she had the idea to create an adult fun park.
That would be great.
It would, because they're all around for kids. Why not have one for adults?
I love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
absolutely. Don, what drives, motivates, and inspires you to keep going and excelling at all that you do?
Ooh, that's a big question. I know for me, I think part of it is just the way, I don't know, for me, sometimes I see the end and I walk towards it. I've been that way for most of my life. But what drives me, I'm going to talk about my first life. Because when I was first born, since I was a little kid, I always had this feeling I wasn't going to be here very long and I had to rush. And so what drove me was the clock. Hurry up, you got to finish this, get this done, because I always had this feeling I wasn't going to be here. And I raced through school. Brad, I finished university at age 19. My friends were
Holy
still in high
shit.
school. I was running at the speed of light. And the reason is I thought, I'm not going to be here long. I literally, maybe intentionally, subconsciously got married. We had 3 kids in our 20s.
Wow.
And the career took off, and it was like, hurry up. But guess what? I scaled the ladder and I got to age 38. And that's when the ladder fell. It was like, whoa. So my whole life changed at 38. I had a huge spiritual awakening and I was on the wrong ladder.
We'll talk a little bit about that
Yeah,
experience in a little
yeah.
bit. So, for those who might not know or be aware of it, what is and what does a sound healer do? And maybe explain, if you can, a little bit about the science and spiritual principles behind sound healing and how it influences the body and the mind.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that this has been my world since I woke up in '03, and literally music's been in my life since I was 8.
Mhm.
Want to talk a little bit about I guess, the scientific side of it. Sound healing, the definition that I've embodied is sound healing is when the person playing holds the intention for
Mhm.
healing to happen. You're holding space for people to come to a place of rest and receiving. And you're playing a series or a sequence of sound frequencies, different instruments that are going to both impact the physical body and the non physical. When I say non physical body, I'm talking about the chakras, the aura, the consciousness beyond the physical. So
Right.
all of these layers of us, we have so many layers, right? The mental body, emotional body, and
Yeah.
up it goes. Sound affects every single layer in our being. And so the sound healer is able to hold intention and play a set of notes, sequences, series, harmonics, all of it to bring this change. On a physical level, some of the benefits that have been well documented are the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system kind of moving in coherence. You've got what happens with the brain. The brain waves start to change. The brain waves start to resonate with the sound frequencies. The heart starts to change because
Hmm.
it's hearing this rhythmic. And so we're affecting the heart, the glands, the brain, everything. So there are many benefits on a physical level. On a spiritual level, so many pioneers have been working with sound. My mentor is Fabian Mamon. You guys can
Okay.
Google him, MAN. He's done work with sound and light and color. And Jonathan Goldman using humming and toning, and so many other people. When we consciously work with sound and we connect the mind and the heart, we become the vibration. We become that which we do. And when the body begins to vibrate with coherence, entrainment of the brain, and the aura starts to do the wave, hey, the light show begins. And so many people on a spiritual level, as I said, they elevate their consciousness and they're able to get insight and clarity in their things. They're able to perceive other realms. You may not, you don't have to believe in angels,
Yeah.
but let me tell you, how much time do we got? I can tell you when I'm playing the quartz crystal singing bowl, the room gets full. They come in, they're big. I move back because I can feel their presence. I don't see angels, but I feel their presence. It's a very distinct feeling. And on a spiritual level, I believe when we elevate our consciousness and we're playing the alpha tones of the quartz bowl, we're playing the harmonic overtones of the Tibetan bowls, we're playing other instruments that create binaural beats and harmonic thirds and harmonic fifths, our entire consciousness. And that's when the magic happens. So that's been my observation almost 20 years doing sound baths and seeing how groups of people have shifted and got new insights and got messages. It's an amazing thing. Some people have had out of body experiences, and I always put a little note before the class, hey, I hope you ate lunch or you ate dinner, because if you didn't eat and you start doing
Yeah.
yeah, it gets a little unsettling. We always have a few Reiki people in the room to get people grounded. So
That sounds fucking powerful and incredible.
it is. It's amazing.
So, what are some of the different instruments and techniques you use in your sound healing sessions, and how do they contribute to the healing process?
The first instrument I really connected with was the quartz crystal singing bowl. And I was actually at a Reiki training session one weekend, and my teacher brought out this huge white frosted bowl, and she started playing it. And within minutes, Brad, oh my God, Brad, within minutes, I felt like the helium balloon was blowing up. And I felt so good. And I started smiling, and then all the other students started smiling. And I said to her, what's in that bowl? And she said, Dawn, it's empty. And I said, oh my God, no. Oh my, can you do that? And then she gave me the stick. The following week, I bought my first bowl, then the second bowl. By the time a month was over, I had six bowls.
Wow.
I was just going. And so I started with the quartz crystal, then I added the Tibetan bowl, started doing more studies, looking at the work of some pioneers, and I started creating what I call harmonics of different notes and
Mm-hmm.
combinations and working with the chakras. Since then, I'm a collector. So I have chimes, gongs, ring sticks. looking for an ocean drum, if anybody knows. But I collect things. I have about 7 or 8 instruments here at home. I love sound. And so I play different instruments for different reasons.
Hmm.
There is a belief system that the alpha tones produced by the quartz bowl work directly with the alpha waves of the brain. So our brains
Hmm.
start to resonate with what's going on in the environment. So it'll start to calm down. You're not up here, you're coming down
Yeah.
into alpha, and you're just in that beautiful open state of awareness and no stress. The Tibetan bowls have harmonic overtones. It's a
Hmm.
really nice vibration. All the instruments do different things to the body. There's a belief that stringed instruments like the harp can affect the water element, so it affects
Mm.
blood, the lymphatic system, all
Yeah.
about the heart. So yeah, you can bring in different instruments to shift different parts of the body, but at the end of the day, with the intention, all instruments are going to shift your physical and non-physical energy systems. It just
Think about how you feel when you see live music, right?
yeah,
It makes you feel good. And
yeah.
so, do you have to have a musical background in order to like to learn to play the bowls and things like that? Is it really difficult to learn to play them if you don't have any musical background whatsoever?
Well, I think there's a difference between playing them for enjoyment and being a sound healer.
Right.
I do encourage people to study the art of sound healing because it is a practice. There's when I worked with people one on one, you're not only creating these sound frequencies around the body. There's certain instruments you can put on the body, like the Tibetan bowls, you can place on the body.
Okay.
So you really need to understand how you're working with the body, the chakras, and how the sound can shift. But if you're playing as a hobby, I say go slow, hang out in the store, play until your heart feels this is the one. Listen
Hmm.
to your heart. That's really my number one advice. Pick the instruments that really connect with your heart. And then if you want to work with yourself and pay attention to how do you shift, what's coming up for you when you play, how do you feel, start toning with the sound, explore how your physical and non physical systems work. And once
Hmm.
you get that language, it's really a dictionary. For me, my hearing became really sensitive when I woke up. And so when I'm playing, I can hear the spin of the chakras. I can literally hear that. And I hear when it changes from being in a
Hmm.
closed space to an expanded state. Get to know yourself, your ears, your heart, and work with the sound. And when you're ready, you can study the art. So that's how I would recommend people start. Work on yourself first.
Would YouTube University be a good place to start?
Exploring it on your own is really the first place to start because
Okay.
I say this to a lot of folks. Did you know we each have our own dictionary? So, you know how you go to the library or the bookstore and there's a dream dictionary?
Hmm.
For you, cats may mean playfulness. For me, cats may be an allergic reaction to something.
That's what they are for me. I don't like cats.
You and I, right? We each have our own dictionary, so I can't tell you go to YouTube and learn it.
Yeah.
You got to work with your ears, work with
Hmm.
your heart, and listen to your body and listen to what it means when the sound changes, when the amplification changes, and then once you know your dictionary, you can
Hmm.
then start exploring working with others. And I think that's really the key. You got to
Okay.
know yourself.
And where would you suggest starting? Like, what instrument would you suggest starting with? The quartz healing bowl or quartz sound bowl, or where would you
Um,
start? What would be the first thing that you would suggest?
I would actually suggest working with either the Tibetan or the quartz bowls. They're both fairly easy to play. But
Hmm.
again, which one is talking to you the loudest? Start working with that, and
Hmm.
then start working with the vibration of the bowl on
Okay.
the body, and then from there you can start expanding. But bowls are fairly easy to play. It's not like a flute or a clarinet,
Or a
so
saxophone or a
or a
guitar.
saxophone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you like drumming, start with a drum because drumming has an amazing impact on the heart. Just
Yeah.
amazing. Mm.
Okay. Beautiful. Thank you for that. Beyond physical healing, what are some of the emotional and spiritual benefits that clients can get and experience through sound healing?
When I remember working with some younger people, in particular, a couple of kids who life gets in the way, you don't understand everything. I started working with, and I'll mention the company here, it's called HemiSync, HEMI-SYNC.
Mhm.
And that's a lot of scientific work around binaural beats and how the brain, different parts of the brain can be stimulated or soothed by different binaural beats. And I've worked with children that may have had some learning issues. And so working with these sound frequencies, the brain becomes activated in different areas. And so they're able to manage their emotions better. They're able to process their thoughts better. They're able to calm down. So you can work with different sound frequencies in a scientific way to understand. There are sound frequencies, Brad, to help you retain information. There's sound frequencies to help you overcome insomnia. There are
Wow.
sound frequencies to help you relax. There's so many different frequencies. Check out
Okay.
hemi-sync.com. But I've worked with some of these tools over the last 20 years, and I've seen how we can help ourselves release certain emotions, release negative emotions, start healing our heart so that we can be more fulfilled in life, more joyful. In terms of spiritual benefits, so many pioneers have been working with sound. As I mentioned, Dr. Emoto, our words create the vibration that can heal us. Jack Goldman, toning, chanting, Fabian Mamon, working with different instruments for healing. We cannot be full beings spiritually and physically until we heal our inner world. And sound is a beautiful medicine. Sound can be a beautiful medicine to help heal your inner world.
Mhm.
Nothing out here is not where you heal. There's no pill to pop.
No.
If you don't get this right, and I'm going to just share with you, this is one of my favorite sayings I came up with. We are perfect beings in an imperfect world, which means we're destined to have pain, loss, and drama. So, one of your major jobs is to take those experiences and heal. We have to heal in here so that we can be fully living fulfilled
Alive.
life. And because, right, so we're perfect, but we had all this nonsense happen to us, and the drama and the relationship and the career and the kids and the parents and the
Yeah.
teacher and the church and on and on. At the end of the day, this container gets so full. I literally do an exercise. I work with a lot of organizations in social impact, so people who are survivors, etc. And I do this exercise called empty your cup. Empty your cup literally means looking at the stuff you've been storing and start
Mhm.
look at it, shake it. Hey, you know what? Gotta go.
Get rid of it.
Empty the cup, and heal. Empty and heal, empty and heal. Because when you're able to clear this container, you will remember how vibrant and intelligent and powerful you
And
are.
powerful. Yes,
Empowered.
exactly.
Yes,
Yeah. Mhm.
yes,
100%. I love that. Empty the cup. Because we get cut. There's so much conditioning and so much bullshit that we have to deal with in our lives. And we are the foundation. Everything, absolutely everything in this life starts here at home with the
yes,
foundation of us. And that's where
absolutely,
everything needs to start. Because when you do that, then you can be in and of full service to those around you after
absolutely.
you've looked after yourself first. But again, this is the conditioning we've been taught and brought up to believe that putting yourself first is selfish when it's the exact opposite. It's selfless to do that because then you can be so much more for the people around you that need you that you support.
Absolutely. Because, like I said, I think all the experiences we have over time, we keep filling in all these feelings and experiences and beliefs, and the container is so full that we
Hmm.
forget us.
Yeah.
And I
And that's a
notice
big thing among women
women, actually,
especially.
women, I'm going to say all people because what I'm saying, I'm in the over 50 club. And so I see this shift for those parents out there listening. I know you're going to nod your head. Once the kiddos get bigger and you have disposable time and disposable income, what happens? You start, hey, I took off these hats. Who am I? Who am I now? Who am I now? and you got to look at the container. And everybody gets to the point where they're like, oh my God, let
I
me
don't
empty.
container.
It may not be pleasant, it may not be pretty, but you got to do it. So heal
Yeah.
your inner world and enjoy your life. That's my short answer to that question.
Heal your inner world and enjoy your outer world. There you go.
Enjoy your outer world. Thank you. Eloquently
Mhm.
put.
Thank you. How do you think that sound healing can contribute then to global well-being and the collective consciousness?
The big one. It sort of resonates with what I said earlier. The collective consciousness is going to have a hard time going up until we individually fix our stuff. Now, sound is universal. Every country in the world has a lullaby. Every country has an anthem. Sound is a real amazing global connector. And I mean, they have World Sound Healing Day in February. There's all different events you can do together. Since our world went upside down in 2020, we're doing it in Zoom, on Zoom or
Mhm.
virtually versus in person. But again, I go back to the work of Dr. Emoto. He wasn't the first, but he's one of the most known persons looking at how our words, how sound can change the frequency of matter, how it can change the structure of matter. And having 400 people stand at a shoreline of a polluted river and chant the chant and say the affirmation. And 2 hours later, they dip the cup and check the water, and it's cleaner than it was 2 hours before. This is all being documented. The power of the voice, sound, affirmation. We are not just thinking it and feeling it, we are putting it out into the reality. And one of the laws of vibration, which I've written about for years and years in all my books, is when you raise the frequency around you, you change the structure of matter, right? You can change the molecular structure. And this is what Dr. Emoto shows in his work. And before them, there was Hans Jenny back in the early 1900s, who showed just making different sound frequencies change these patterns with iron fillings on a plate. You could see
The
there's a
move,
certain
the
pattern when I
dance.
say love. Yeah. So when I say love has a structural pattern, right? Joy has a pattern, peace has a pattern. And these patterns are universal. So imagine if we all got on the same wavelength
Mhm.
and chanted in tone for an hour. Woo, this planet would have, it's like Drano. It's like, it's like spiritual
Clean the
Drano.
world. It's
Clean the
a
world.
spiritual enema.
I like Drano.
No, I think the world needs an enema. I think we need
Oh,
to clean a
Lord.
lot of shit out.
Brad said it. There you have
Yep,
it.
yep, that's it.
Yeah, yeah, but sound cannot just move mountains. Sound, collectively using sound, can change the molecular structure of matter, and that's a vibrational law.
It is so powerful. Again,
Mhm.
I always, when we're talking about this, it's just, what always comes to is music. How uplifting music is, what a range of emotions music creates when you hear music, I mean, think of a song and it brings a memory to mind for a lot of people, a particular song. How
Yeah,
fucking powerful is that? It's
it is. It
incredible.
is. Listen, I listened to what was that guy used to sing? He had a raspy voice. Was it Rod
Rod
Stewart?
Stewart.
Every time I hear his voice, I think about my first dance in high school.
I think about Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, that was my first dance in high school. That no, his voice. I forget the song. It was "Tonight's the Night," something or
Yes,
the other.
tonight's the night. Yep.
Every time I hear him, I think about high school and "Stairway to Heaven." Yeah, that was
Yeah.
my. And I'm like, boom, I'm back at
See,
age
it's
12 or
automatic
13.
associate.
But you know what? Sound can teleport us, right?
Hmm.
It teleports us back in time. It's amazing.
And
That's been
again,
my world for a long time. And I think for me, sound gave me, sound healing helped me get into my spiritual self.
hmm
And then I was able to get the confidence to start speaking and writing. But it all started with sound. That was the catalyst for me.
I
Yeah.
think music was something that we all grew up with. At some point when you're a kid, you heard music. Your parents listening to the radio, your parents playing records or 8 tracks or whatever it was, music. That's where it all started for I can't say everybody, but a ton of people. Music is where everything started because that's what we
Absolutely.
hear growing
Yes.
up.
Yeah.
Like I
Yes.
think about times driving in the car with my parents, and a song would come, and that when I hear that song, I think back to that time.
The
It's a
memory,
very
yeah.
powerful medium. It's
It
incredible.
is. It is.
How do you define spirituality, and how does it differ from religion in your view?
Ooh, okay. Some people may not like my answer,
Let's
but
get right into it. We're done with the sound healing stuff. Let's get into this.
oh, wow. Okay. This is my definition of spirituality, according to Don. Spirituality is about exploring your inner world, your deepest inner self, to remember your connection to something bigger than yourself. Religion, in my world, is a belief system. End of sentence. There's a saying when I was writing the trilogy, I spent some time talking to a Swami
Mhm.
at a ashram in Toronto. Because when I woke up, Brad, just quickly, I
Mhm.
had nobody in my life to talk to about anything spiritual. And I kind of had to go and talk to someone in person. And one of the things we talked about was karma.
Mhm.
And Swami said to me, karma is real. We can create it and we can clear it. I said, really? He said, yes. He said, when you go within, you clear your karma. When you look out here, you create karma. But boom, that hit me. For me, spirituality is about exploring this, get in there, get to know what makes
Dig,
you tick,
excavate.
excavate, get in there, get to know your triggers. What are you holding? What are the lessons? What have you gathered here so far? Get to know all of it, right? And then you can start to create harmony within you, which we'll talk a little bit later about. But
Mhm.
the harmony of self is a multifaceted discipline. I've been on this journey for 21 years, creating harmony in my inner world because then everything out here flows. Religion is a belief system. That's my short answer.
Man, I got a long way. I just started my spiritual journey about 2.5 years ago. I got a long way to go.
Mhm.
Although I was probably always there and within me, I just really started to, I guess, tap into it and harness it about 2.5 years ago. I've
Yeah.
got a lot of work to do and a long way to go. You're
But you
21
know,
years in.
but you are fully aware of you're on the journey and you know the importance of the journey. So many
Mhm.
people deny it, they shun it, they avoid it. I'm like, you're kicking and screaming for what? You
Yeah.
are a spiritual being. And
Mhm.
if it helps you remember this, you're on vacation as Brad.
Yeah.
You are a spiritual being on vacation as Brad. I'm a
Mhm.
spiritual being. I'm on vacation as Dawn. I simplify my life down to that one phrase, and I'm like, okay, I'm on vacation. Okay, where do I want to go today? What do I want to do today? Life can be really simple if we choose.
Yes,
If
and
we
we
choose.
all have a choice. We
Yes,
always
sir.
have a choice.
Yes,
Always. It's just whether you make the choice, decide to, first of all, whether you're aware that you have a choice. Second of all, whether you make the choice or not.
yes,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Now, let's get into your story. Since we're diving right in here, we might as well have you share your story. Would you mind sharing that pivotal moment or that spiritual awakening that you had that led you on your spiritual journey?
I'm going to say it started with me being on the wrong ladder.
Yes, as we'll go back to that. Yeah, you
Right.
said
I
that.
climbed the ladder and I thought, ooh, the title, the status, I got the corporate gig, the dream house, the
Mhm.
family, the two cars, blah, 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 blah. Boom. And then at around age 38, I start looking around, this it? Really? Emptiness. My whole being just filled with emptiness. Christmas Day 2002, I stopped eating. Let me rephrase that. On Christmas Day 2002, I think I had a cherry tomato. Like I literally didn't eat. I wasn't hungry. But it wasn't just I wasn't hungry. I lost my appetite. I lost
Mhm.
my appetite, Raj. I wasn't interested in the career. I just started to withdraw. I wasn't interested in being here because I felt like this can't be it.
Mhm.
I had actually done everything I wanted to do, and I thought, now what do I do? Right. In
Yeah.
March of 2003, I had two spiritual events the same night. Nothing comes easy in my life. You'll find out more later, but I had a Kundalini rising, which is a spiritual event, and a huge energy shift, followed by a spiritual awakening, which began when my heart stopped beating. Okay. So I'm lying in bed going, something weird's going on up my spine. And then I heard no heartbeat. And so I'm in this state of suspension.
Hmm.
And then the light show happens, and I'm like up and out. And I just remember feeling so free. I don't know where I was going, but I was going someplace really quick. And then it was like the light show. So the Kundalini got me up and out, and then the light show got me everywhere on this planet. I literally connected to every living thing, person, animal, plant. I felt everything. I thought I was done. So I came back and I went, oh, did I make a U turn? Is this supposed to happen? When I'll never forget this, because coming back was just as interesting as leaving. The first thing I remember that I knew I was kind of back, I felt a little kiss here, and somebody whispered in my ear, all you need is within you. It was a male voice.
Hmm.
All you need is within you. And that got my little senses going, and I opened my eyes. And the first thing I did, because I'm lying in bed, I looked at my hands and I went, oh, that's the same hands. I thought I was going to be 6'2", bombshell, long legs, 140 pounds. No. I go, wait, I know those hands. The first thing I did, I looked at my hands. Long story short, I got a crash course in spirituality in one day. The Kundalini awakening blew my mind.
Hmm.
The spiritual awakening blew up everything else. And my whole life, I came back to this world with heightened senses, highly hypersensitive. I couldn't even be in a room with the TV on. You couldn't put on a computer. I was like, oh my gosh. So I came back highly sensitive, deeply intuitive. And Brad, it was uncomfortable. The week before I woke up, I was working in corporate, wearing a suit, carrying a briefcase in a corner office, managing a company. I knew nothing about this. So when I came back, I was like, what the bleep, WTF, and all the other stuff, all the other things you can think about. And I was so sensitive that I was afraid to go outside and be
Wow.
with people. I couldn't handle groups. Thank God it was just my husband and 3 kids at home. So what happened to me? No more movies, no coffee shops, no going grocery shopping. I couldn't handle the crowd. I couldn't handle all these bubbles of energy bouncing me around like a pinball. A lot of soul searching. The blessing in all of this was remembering I'm a spiritual being. The second blessing was remembering I didn't have to be on that ladder. I had a choice. I quit my day job and I never looked back. People say to me, how could you quit? I said, I had no plans. I surrendered to spirit. And that's how I've been living for two decades plus. I just listen to my soul and I follow my heart. That's how I live. I honestly believe that if we can trust in our abilities, trust in your gifts,
Hmm.
trust that you came here fully loaded. Yes, you had an education, but you've got things that you can't get in school.
Yeah.
You possess things that no one else has. And if we can trust in that and develop it and live in a state of, I'm going to be all I can be, that I know what and who I am, we're going to be just fine. So, this spiritual journey got me navigating the healing art and writing and speaking. And that's how I am here today with you.
Fully
This
present.
journey has brought me here. So thank you. That was a big question.
And we all have those gifts. We all have them within us. It's a matter
Yeah,
of discovering them, what they are, and tapping into them.
absolutely.
So what
Absolutely.
would you suggest then for people to start to figure out what their gifts are? How does one do that?
My, I was on a lonely road when I came back because most of my friends wore suits and had Blackberries. Remember Blackberries back in the day?
Oh,
We're talking
yes.
2003. So most of my
Crackling
friends were like
blackberries.
lawyers and stuffed shirts and had briefcases and Blackberries. And I'll never forget about 2 years in when I started doing sound work. I guess there was a picture of me somewhere. I was doing a sound bath. And a friend of mine was a lawyer, and he says, what the flip happened to you? What the heck are you doing? What are those things in front of you? What's wrong with you? What are you wearing? Anyhow, the friends dissipated. My best friend, I'm going to tell you who my best friend became. 2 days after I came back to this world, and I knew I couldn't even begin to articulate all the stuff that was happening to me. I was angels and messages and all these things. I picked up a little book. It was a journal, and I started writing in that journal. Journal is a powerful tool to help reconnect to your inner wisdom, higher self, all of the above. Journaling can help you heal. Journaling allowed me to ask questions that I couldn't say out loud to anybody, not even my partner.
Mm-hmm.
Journaling allowed me to have some good crying sessions. Journaling allowed me to forgive some people who had hurt me deeply. Journaling became my best friend, my confidant, and it became my inner guru because the more questions I asked and the deeper I delved into what I was holding in this little container, light bulb moments, clarity, answers, they come. Be patient with yourself. Journaling is a wonderful and powerful tool for personal development, spiritual growth. I can't speak up about it more. That was my tool. There's many tools out there, but journaling did it for me. Other people might explore meditation.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, knowing who you are as a full being, spiritually and physically, started with journaling.
Okay. Thank you for sharing
Mhm.
that. And thank you for sharing your vulnerability and your spiritual awakening and experience. I appreciate that. What role do you believe collective healing plays in the broader spiritual awakening of humanity?
I'd like to say I'm optimistic, but I'm a realist. When it comes to humanity,
Just say it like it is. Just
it's tough because the me is so deeply ingrained in media and society and conditioning. The me ism, that how do you break that ego? How do you break away from the ego? Because until we break away from the ego, I don't think there's a hope in hell. We're going to collectively raise our consciousness. You heard it here, boys and girls. Yeah.
I
Dawn almost four.
but I think that if going back to what you said earlier about doing the work here
Mhm.
and growing and going inside and excavating and doing all those things, I think that if we take the time to do that as individuals, and this ties into something I was speaking about earlier today with someone else about the fact that, oh, I just lost my train of thought. Where the hell was I going with this? If we do the work on ourselves, oh, yes, now I know. Okay, train is back on the tracks. We always hear people say one person can't make a difference.
Yeah.
Yes, I was stuck in that. I believe that. But since my awakening, since all of this work that I'm doing now, I realized that I may not, me personally, may not be able to make a difference worldwide or a huge impact, but I can make a difference in my world. And it starts here with me. Then it goes out to our community, our
Yeah.
communities that we're part of, and
Yeah.
then it ripples out from there. So I think that if we work on ourselves, awaken ourselves,
Yeah.
and we continue to surround ourselves with like-minded people, bringing these people into our communities,
Yeah.
that's where the change is going to come. We can't worry about everyone else out in the world because you can't, all you can do, all you have control over is yourself, your own reactions,
Well,
your own
yeah.
thoughts, all of those things. So I
This
think
is
that,
why, yeah, this is why I replied the way I did, Brad,
mm,
because collective consciousness, that's what's creating the whole planet. The richness and magic of being here is knowing who you are fully. And
mhm,
when you're able to understand all the workings of you and do the excavation and get back to what I call your soul essence, that
mhm,
creative, intelligent, powerful, loving being, this container will begin to vibrate. You become the beacon. You become the instrument. You don't even have to talk to someone. I've seen it. I can be standing with a group and being who I am, and they're going to feel that vibration. It's going to impact them. Collectively, yes, we can do it in communities. There is a fundamental thing I need to address. We are program conditioned, socialized to believe everything we need is outside of ourselves. And until that ego gets demoted
mhm,
and the higher self gets promoted, collective consciousness is going to be a really steep climb of a slippery slope. So this is why the inner world, and I think this is why I write what I write, because the message I got in a dream in 2005 was about vibrational frequency.
Mm-hmm.
And what that really means is understanding how to create harmony in
Mm-hmm.
every aspect of your being. And when you understand how to get this container in a state of harmony, everything goes up. This is where we become fully who we are. I think that's probably my gift I'm leaving everybody is understand how to raise your frequency, elevate your mind, elevate your consciousness, and then your outer worlds will become beautiful
You will
naturally.
attract, your vibe will attract your tribe. As you said, when
Yeah,
you're around people, and that's true. Let's be honest, there are people out there in the world that are never, ever going to wake up. They're just not going to. And that's the way it goes. But if we surround ourselves with the people that are waking up and that do waking up, there are a lot of people that still, I mean, if COVID has showed us nothing else, life does not have to be lived the same way it's been being lived for centuries. Things are changing, systems are being exposed for the falsehoods that they portrayed for years and years. Systems are crumbling, and that's what we need. I think it's wonderful. I think it's amazing to see the wheels coming off the bus. I really do. I think it's incredible. I think it's needed. It really is.
the word everything moves in a cycle. I'll just sum up just quickly. One of my dear friends who wrote the foreword of my book Unveiled is an astrologer, and what Michael so eloquently put, Michael Moon, he said everything moves in a cycle. We were in the state of expansion for so many decades that we thought it was normal.
Mhm.
We are in a state of contraction. The economy and all the other things people are feeling now, right? Less
Mhm.
movement. I mean, 2020 to now, restriction
Mhm.
on everything. This contraction state makes us uncomfortable, but guess what? If you're never uncomfortable,
You don't
you're not
grow.
going to change.
Mhm.
Human beings change when they feel uncomfortable. So
Yep.
it's like how many times you got to wait till the doctor gives you a death sentence and go, oh my
Mhm.
God, I better go to the gym. Why do you have
Yeah.
to wait till you're 2 months from a heart attack to go to the gym? This contraction is causing us to look around and get
Mhm.
creative because there's less money, less movement, less options,
Mhm.
less. But there's more. There's more opportunity to
Yep.
think, ask questions, be creative, start to explore sustainability. Please, the planet, I've had enough of you guys now.
Yeah.
You guys got to change because you
You.
keep taking and I keep giving. It's not working. I need a divorce. And
Yeah.
the planet, if the planet divorces us, ladies
We're
and gentlemen,
screwed. It's over.
we
We're
have to
done.
change. So this is making us uncomfortable so we can find a way to change. And I'm going to pray we change for the better.
I hope
That's
so.
the key.
I hope so. We
Yeah.
all have to do our individual work
Yeah.
and then come together as a collective to help raise the vibration with those who have done the work. Period. That's it. What are your daily spiritual practices and how do they support your own growth and well being?
Daily is the key. I'm going to focus on daily because I do cycle through different other things in my world. A daily practice I have is moving my body, whatever that looks like. It could be stretching, yoga, hiking. Another daily practice I have for my own growth is I do a lot of breath work. I've been doing breath work since I woke up. It it gives me not just keeps my energy flowing well, but the breath work clears my mind. It tunes me. I get tuned out. Breath work is a daily practice. I sprinkle that with eating healthy. I sprinkle that with I challenged myself during 2020 to see if I could go 90 days with not eating a single processed food. So fruits, vegetables, I mean unaltered food groups. And it was an amazing experience. But I sprinkle my daily practice of breath work and movement with sound, of course. I'm a big sound
Of
girl. I
course.
play and I listen. Come on
Mhm.
now. But I sprinkle that with healthy eating anything that gets me in water. I love being in water, whether it's ocean, waterfall, the bathtub. And the bathtub is good too.
Yeah.
Very accessible. And I think for me, another thing I try and do every day, I'm a big, again, balance is very important.
Hmm.
So I've done a lot of studying in the realm of pH balance and cancer prevention. I'm a big cancer prevention advocate. So a lot of my daily practices, what goes in my body, on my body, is all about pH balance, which is
Hmm.
a topic for another day, but it's very
Yes.
important because most people are very acidic, which causes a lot of problems down the road.
Hmm.
I'm very conscious and mindful of keeping that balance. Again, and it might sound like a physical practice, but it's also very spiritual because our pH affects our emotional state.
Hmm.
Angry people are very acidic. Just saying.
Yes.
Loving people have a lower pH.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
yeah, thanks for asking.
What would you suggest then for individuals who want to start to integrate spirituality? Where would you suggest they start in terms of daily practices?
Because of how the society is moving at the speed of light, because there's so many distractions and disturbances in our day, I won't bash the tech right now. I would strongly recommend turn off your cell phone for at least 8 hours. Yes, 8 hours. Calm your mind. Find ways to calm your mind because without a calm mind, it's hard to do any healing work.
Hmm.
We are bombarded with distractions and noise, notifications, beep, tweets, likes, whatever emojis of the yin yang. Please. People thought I was crazy at the end of 2020. I came off all social media and I run two successful businesses. I'm not in that space. I took every app off my phone. And guess what, boys and girls? I use my cell phone as a phone.
Gee, there's a novel concept.
What? Oh, people
What?
thought I was nuts. To be honest, I was bombarded with too much noise, and I literally started deleting all the apps. I remember I got to Facebook and I said delete. They go, "Are you sure?" Yes, delete. Are you? This is permanent. Are you sure? I said delete. It took 6 minutes for the spin to finally delete. Anyway, calm your mind. Number one. Without a calm mind, it's very hard to go within. Number one. Number two, make a list of everything you enjoy, all of it, okay? And love yourself in a way that you will find time, make time for more joy in your life. Because once you start to feel joyful, it's going to be much easier to get to that beautiful state, right? We need to
Mhm.
raise our vibration, and what better way than doing things we enjoy?
Yeah,
Raising your
absolutely.
vibration is directly aligned with being spiritual, being more open to receive, to heal, to release, and to fully express who and what you are. So for me, meditation, calm the mind,
Mhm.
definitely is one of the first things. Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. How has your understanding of spirituality evolved over the years, and what key insights have you taken away from
Oh
that
my
evolution?
goodness.
Just a couple of key insights that you've taken away.
I want to tell you what I thought spirituality was, and please don't laugh. Okay, so when I woke up in 2003, and maybe it's the media, I thought I was going to be celibate, move to Tibet, be in an ashram,
A
shave
monk.
my head, and I'm going to be chanting all day long. And I was telling my husband, I can't stay here, right? I can't stay here. I can't. And he, but we're married. You got 3 kids. That was the media defining spirituality. When I woke up, it was very uncomfortable being here. I thought somebody dropped me off. They made the wrong stop. I would kick and scream and yell at the moon and go outside. Thank God I didn't have neighbors nearby. We had a cornfield behind the house. But what I came to realize, Brad, is I needed to explore the gifts that I had been given. I needed to understand why I came back. And there was a long time asking why. 18 months, I journaled every day. Why am I here? Why am I back? Did you make a mistake? I don't like it here. I'm feeling the pain of everybody. I felt everybody's stuff. I felt everybody's stuff. And I kept to myself. And after 18 months, I finally get my answer. And Spirit said to me, Dawn, what do you love to do? I said, I waited 18 months for you to ask me a question. It's serious. And
Just
in
send me
my
all the
journal,
answers.
yeah, so in my journal, I realized, no, all I needed was within. I had to
Mhm.
answer my own question. Well, gee, I wish I got that memo earlier.
But
I
you
sat
did. You
on
got
my,
it when you first woke up, though. You did.
I did, but I didn't really understand it.
Hmm.
So when I heard the question, what do you love to do? I literally made a list. I would sit on my bed one afternoon and I kept writing all the things I loved since I was a kid, teen, adult. At the end of the day, I love to teach. Doesn't
Hmm.
matter. I used to tutor people in math, piano. I used to help people with software back in the day when software was new. I love teaching. I got into mentoring. I got into coaching. I got into helping people write their own book. I love to teach. So when Spirit gave me my assignment, I wrote the list and I started doing what I think I came here to do. My form of teaching began with writing. I've written 15 books to date. You can find that on johnjames.ca. But the writing helped me reach people that I couldn't reach in my circle.
Hmm.
After the writing came, then I started to create experiences so people could actually learn and feel what it feels like to raise the frequency. So that's going to be my journey from writing to speaking to creating events. It's been a beautiful thing so far. I love what I do. Now I understand spirituality doesn't mean I have to be on the mountain chanting. I don't have to choose between being spiritual or physical, but it took me almost 2 years to understand. I can embody both, and I fulfill my spiritual calling through teaching in a physical shell. So it took me a long time, Brad, to get there, but I figured it out. Yeah, my kids are too cute. I couldn't leave them. I couldn't leave them and go sit on a mountain chanting 10 hours a day. Come on now. That's what I thought I had to do.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Wow.
That was my road.
Unbelievable. That is so powerful. Your audio is cutting in and out now, like it's getting lower, back up.
Yeah. So I'm going to do one quick thing.
Yep.
We are getting into some rain.
Ah, okay.
So I'm going to turn up the volume. And I am on the router.
Okay.
Is
Yeah.
it better?
Right now it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I shut the window so
Okay.
it's raining. Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is a great segue. You're talking about the books. So let's get into you writing your autobiography, the spiritual awakening being the catalyst for that, your trilogy. I'd love for you to speak a little bit about the trilogy and your autobiography, if you would.
Okay. No, thank you. We go through such a major life shift. Come back with, instead of living on the left hand space, so the art came back to me, the love of art. One of those loves became music, and another was writing. Since I am a child, I listen to my dreams and I write them down. In 2005, I got a message in a dream. The lady who gave me the message was Sylvia Brown, the famous Sylvia Brown.
Wow.
In the dream, she planted the seed in my head about vibrational frequency, and she planted a seed about how we can improve how we lived with this concept. Brad, let me tell you something. I woke up from that dream and I did a deep dive. I was studying, like ferociously studying everything I can get my hands on. And after 5 years of studying and looking at all the different theories and laws of vibration and the whole connection with the brain and the heart and the aura, and I said, you know what? I need to share with people how to live consciously, what I learned from waking up. So I wrote the trilogy. I didn't know it was going to be a trilogy. My first book is called Raise Your Vibration, Transform Your Life.
Mhm.
It's about raising your personal frequency naturally. Everything I teach is about naturally living healthier. And a month after I wrote that book, and the dedication of my first book is to Sylvia Brown because she
Mhm.
planted the seed. Vibrational frequency is my topic. 30 days after my book was printed, I met Sylvia in Toronto. In
Wow.
Toronto. I forget the name of the big conference center. And I gifted Sylvia an autographed copy of Raise Your Vibration, Transform Your Life. I've got pictures with her and Montel Williams that I took. I'm like, ooh, anyway, I thought I was done. Nope. 4 years later, I wrote How to Raise the Vibration Around You. It's all about eco-friendly living, green living, how to detox your home, how to live in harmony with the planet. Stop buying crap because we're putting it in the soil, we're putting it in the air. We need to stop. 4 years later came book three, Raise the Vibration Between Us, how to clear karma, how to forgive, how to get personal freedom, how to create personal freedom in here.
Mm-hmm.
And so these are the three books that became the trilogy. You can learn more on my site, donjames.ca. But in so doing and not consciously doing, I realized those three books have one thing in common: harmony in yourself, raise your vibration. Harmony at home and the planet, raise the vibration around you.
Mm-hmm.
And harmony in your relationship, raise the vibration between us. I unknowingly wrote those three topics, not understanding there was
The
a
golden
common
thread.
thread. And so harmony has been my new vocabulary since 2020. Because if there's one thing we're missing on this world, is a sense of harmony on
Mm-hmm.
all levels. And this is why I coach and mentor people. How do we create harmony within us? How do we live? How do we become harmonic beings, harmonious beings? What does that look and feel like? How is your life going to be and more vibrant and more joyful if you create harmony? And so that's been my new language. My life story was a different. I was on a mission to write the trilogy. My life story, I was on a mission. I actually didn't want to write that story. Brad, 20 years ago, nobody was talking about chakras.
Yeah.
And so 20 years ago, I thought, there's no way I'm going to write my personal spiritual journey. People are going to think. And so I shunned it. I actually avoided it. I procrastinated for a long time. And then when the world stopped moving in 2020, I had the most amazing opportunity to write. I had no distractions, no one around me, no interruptions. We've been empty nesters, kids are gone. Dawn, you got no more excuses. So I didn't write like I was on a mission, but I wrote because I felt the world was ready to hear about spirituality, given that everything stopped moving and all these millions of people started waking up. As millions of people, the quiet quitting, the great resignation, the I'm leaving my home country, I'm going somewhere else. I thought, wow, this is like an awakening. Boom. Unveiled autobiography of an awakened one. It is my spiritual wake up, but it's not just about me. It's about, I basically teach people about spiritual concepts in the book. I cover everything from A to Z. So if you have an inkling to learn about astral travel, Merkaba, Kundalini, angel, soulmate, breathwork, Breatharianism, it's all covered in my book. It's not just my story, it's the story that we all take on stumbling, falling, tripping, and trying to figure out what the belief we are. And in so reading my story, you also get to understand the very spiritual aspects that you can wake up in you
Mm-hmm.
so that you can fully embody who and what you are in this lifetime. That's how I wrote Unveiled. To my surprise, Mr. Brad, I got an International Book Award in 2022 for Unveiled.
Amazing.
My husband, if he was here, he'd tell you she did a talk for 24 hours. I saw the email and I almost hit delete. I thought it was spam. It said, congratulations, you've won the 2022. And I go, okay, Publisher Clearinghouse, delete.
Mm.
And then I opened the email and I said, oh my God, there's my book. There's my book cover. And I started reading the press release and I started crying. I'm like, oh my God.
Wow. Congratulations.
Anyhow, the greatest, one of the greatest honors any writer can receive is when your story is recognized in an international arena. So I'm very humbly honored to have gotten this Booker Award for spirituality in
Mm-hmm.
2022. The process of writing liberated me and allowed me to share more of myself, which I do. I do live fireside chats now to talk about spirituality. I would have never have done this 15 years ago. Embrace who you are, accept yourself, love yourself, get to know yourself. Start healing this container so you can be more of that soul essence that you are. That's been my journey for 21 years.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing all of that. Now, I also mentioned you host retreats. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how long you've been doing that work?
We took our first trip down to Costa Rica in 2014. And again, empty nest, disposable time, disposable income. Oh my God, let's go on a trip. And so we arrived. We didn't even have a hotel book. We didn't have anything. We just came down like teenagers. Two backpacks. That's it. Two backpacks. Two people. No hotel. Best trip I ever took, driving along the Pacific coast. We drove all the way down to Panama. When I arrived here in Costa Rica, I said, "Ooh, this is the right place to write." I couldn't wait to sit down and start writing. I thought this was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
The name stuck with me. And in 2018, I created a writer's retreat called The Right Place to Write.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been hosting writer's retreat here in
Mm-hmm.
Costa Rica since 2018. It's an annual event. After 2020, some people wanted to come down solo, so I do solo writing retreats. I work one-on-one with writers,
Mm-hmm.
get their story done, get it out, or we do an annual group retreat. So writing retreats kind of my heart and soul, bringing people together, getting them to feel the courage, the empowerment work you do, accept your body, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm like, accept your story, stand up, accept your story, share it with the world. I skipped a little bit of me in 2010 after I started writing books and publishing. I opened a company called Publish, and since 2010, I've helped over 500 writers share their
Wow.
story. I love my job. It's not even a job, it's my heart work because I'm giving people that confidence and courage to own their story. And I'll do it till my last breath because I love birthing things. I love seeing people excited that
Mm-hmm.
they've shared their story. So the writing retreat is my mainstay now, and people can come down solo, one-on-one work with me, or we do the group retreat. But that's the space that I hold, and I love working
Beautiful.
in that space. I love working with writers.
Amazing. What would you say is one of the most important things you've learned in your life? And what was your life like before you learned it? And what was your life like after learning it?
The two things I learned waking up that I really do have what I need. I already came here with everything I need, and I always have a choice. Always have a choice. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I was a workaholic for 16 years. I was a workaholic to the point that I was hitting 70 hours a week working, not being home for dinner, chasing that little carrot.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Don, next quarter, hit this number, you're going to get a bonus. Oh, hit this number, you're going to get this. And so I was chasing on that treadmill. When I woke up, I remembered I had a choice. And I
Mm-hmm.
saw my life for what it was at the time, which was very out of balance. And I realized I needed to bring balance back into my life. After my wake up, I realized that if we can slow the world down a little bit, slow ourselves down a little bit, and start paying attention to synchronicities, even when things don't go our way, okay? Sometimes the setback is a setup
Mm-hmm.
for something better to come along. Anybody there with broken hearts listening, you know what I'm talking about. He wasn't the one, she wasn't the one.
Mm-hmm.
We got to have a setback to have a setup for something better sometimes. In my journey after I woke up, I realized that sometimes we think we lost something, but we've gained something. Perhaps you gained some wisdom. Yes, there were tears and heartache, but you gained wisdom, you gained clarity. You understand what you don't want in your life. You know what you want in your life. That's the balance that I find has come since I woke up. And really harmony. Harmony is my word for 2024 and beyond. How to create harmony in your day, in
Mm-hmm.
your relationship, in what you do, right? If we can embody harmony, there's that collective consciousness, Brad, you talked about. We be
I
good.
love it. There's always a silver lining or a lesson in every single situation that we experience. Every
Absolutely.
single one. You just have to be able to, I think, extract yourself from the situation, look inward,
Absolutely.
find that in order to move forward. There's
That's
always
right.
something there, though. And my dad always said, whatever is meant for you will never, ever go by you. So you got to look at it that way, too.
Okay. Love it.
Yeah,
So true.
for
So
sure.
true.
What is an unexpected blessing or occurrence in your life that you're grateful for?
Boy. I had two car accidents 6 months apart. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to stay in the blessing team, but stick with me here. Just
Yeah.
stay with me on this road we're on. Right? I had two car accidents 6 months apart. Brad, both of them came at the exact same time, 8:25 a.m. My car got hit in the exact same place, front driver's side, 8:25 a.m. Two accidents 6 months apart.
You just can't make
Dawn
this shit up.
and is there a blessing in the story? So after the second one, which was a hit and run, I'm sitting in my car, I'm fuming, I'm furious, all the impact, I could feel it in my neck, my shoulders. And I look at the clock and I went, it's 8:25 again. Guess what I was doing on both occasions? I was going to
Going to
a
work.
job interview. No, I was going
Going
to
to work.
interview. I was going to an interview. I never made it to either interview.
Mhm.
While I was sitting in my car fuming, waiting for someone to come by and ask if I needed help, I finally realized why I had both accidents. And I stepped out of my car and I looked up and I said, I got the memo, stop hitting my freaking car. Back to physio, back to masseuse, back to all this nonsense. But guess what I did? At the end of 2010, I got the memo. John, you're not supposed to be an employee. You're
Mhm.
supposed to answer the call. I need you to trust yourself. I need you to trust the universe and do what you freaking came back here to do. In 2010, I opened a company called Publish and Promote because I love to teach, and all we did was teach people how to find your voice, how to get your story out. That's all I did. And then the following year, everybody wanted help to publish. And so we've grown in the last
Mm.
14 years. But to be honest with you, it's the one thing that I feel so joyful when I'm working with others, and I feel like I'm giving and giving. And because of the transformation I see when people get it done, that's my payment.
Mhm.
That's my payment. And I think being in service can mean many things to different people, but I'm in service when I help other people feel confident and have courage. My payment is seeing how they blossom, and I love it. I love it. So, two car accidents was a blessing. I got off the I need a job ladder,
Mhm.
and I built a new ladder called Publish and Promote.
There you go. Beautiful.
That was my blessing. And it allowed me to be that spiritual, physical being that I wanted
Mhm.
to be. I really love that space. So, yeah, thank you.
The signs are all around us. We just have to have the awareness to pay attention to see them.
Yeah, I got too much taurine in my houses, so I'm a little stubborn and hard of hearing. Sometimes you get a dream, right? A
Yeah.
hunch, a feeling. I got two car accidents because I'm so stubborn. I didn't pay attention the first one. So, Dawn, if we stop you a third time, will you finally know you're not supposed to?
Nope, 2 is fine. That's the
I
limit.
got
I'm
out
done.
like I said, I got the memo. Thank you.
Yeah. Who in your life has had the biggest impact on you and why?
Without a doubt, my dad. My dad was my first spiritual teacher. He brought me so much knowledge and books. And back then we had cassettes. You remember those things you need
Yep.
a pencil
Oh,
to?
yes.
For those of you under 40, you'd be thankful.
You won't know.
You missed it.
Yeah.
First spiritual teacher learned about different healing arts, Kundalini, African spirituality, holistic eating.
Mhm.
My dad brought me a book called Detox or Die. I know it's pretty morbid, but it's about how to detox your body, every part of your body. You can
Mhm.
detox. And so he was always a big nutritionist. He became vegetarian, etc. Quit smoking, quit drinking, totally transformed his life. But here's the thing, he was my cheerleader, biggest
Mhm.
cheerleader I ever had, always had my back, and he taught me the value of education. And I was reading books and doing math before I started school.
Mhm.
Before I turned five, I was always devouring books and doing things. And without a doubt, he set a foundation for me. And because of the work you do, Brad, I want to say that, especially as women, if you have men in your life, father, brother, whoever, that instill a sense of confidence in you and you believe you can do anything, you are going to live an empowered life. I'm blessed that I chose him to be my dad
Mhm.
so that he could give me that foundation. Because without that confidence, I probably wouldn't be here. I certainly wouldn't be writing books.
Or helping others write books.
Exactly. So getting that self-esteem and confidence at a young age is really the key.
It's vital for sure. 1000%. I think that's what we need to, that's our job as parents, is to instill that value, that
Yes.
confidence, that self-love from a very young age. Beat it into them. And I don't mean literally beat it into them, but pound it into them so that they
Yeah.
don't know any different. They just grow up being confident and loving themselves. That is the key,
Yeah.
for
It's
sure.
important. And I think if you're going to be a parent, if you choose to be a parent or whatever the situation,
Mhm.
explore some parenting books, explore some theory behind child development. It is so vital. You are creating the next generation. You are bringing a new life into the world
Mhm.
that you want to be a fully functional, loving human. Creating a human.
Yeah.
It's not, hey, just go watch YouTube and TikTok. You'll be fine. Here's a cell phone. No.
No YouTube
Hello?
University for that shit. What do you think your unique skill set or superpower is that's helped you become successful?
I'm going to say calm confidence. I'm not a loud person. I'm not a rah rah girl.
Hmm.
But when people are around me, a lot of people say, "Oh my gosh, you're so calm," and "Oh my gosh, I didn't know I could do this, but you just laid the way and I got it done." So for me, it's a calm confidence. I think that comes from I've had a lot of spiritual experiences we haven't even scratched the surface on, a lot of WTF moments in my life, a lot of physical challenges. Because of all that, it got me to a place of, hey, I'm still here. The calmness comes from knowing who and what I am. The confidence, part of my teaching approach is to gift people that so that they know there's no limit. The only limits are what you put in your here.
Yes, the
The
self-imposed
belief.
prison.
The belief system is your limit. So if I'm able to show you a different ladder, a different path,
Hmm.
then you can open up and be more of who you need to be. So I think the calm confidence has helped
Yeah.
me both personally and professionally.
Okay. You define success. What does that word mean to you?
Oh, yeah. So the old world, success was getting all this stuff. Success for me, I'm going to give you my spiritual answer.
Hmm.
Success for me is allowing my soul to be the driver and my heart to be the compass.
That. Beautiful. Beautifully put. Very eloquent. I love it. What does the word empowerment mean to you?
Empowerment means I know I've got everything I need. I don't need to chase anything. I don't need to copycat anything. I certainly don't need to follow the crowd.
Mhm.
Empowerment means I know I have all that I need to do what I came here to
Beautiful. Okay, we're
do.
going to jump into a little rapid fire section. So the next grouping of questions just be one, two, three, four-word answer type thing. Okay.
Okay.
How would you describe yourself in one word?
Awakened.
What is your favorite self-care practice?
Being in water. Honestly, water, baby. Water. Ocean, waterfall, tub.
Bath. If you could teach the world one thing, what would it be?
Kindness.
What is one thing you want but cannot buy with money?
Peace.
If you could be remembered for one thing, what would it be?
I was a soulful teacher.
Beautiful. What is one thing you love about yourself that is not related to your physical appearance?
Just giving people a sense of just that ability to give people a sense of confidence. Just yeah.
Okay. That concludes our rapid fire section. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. I threw in a little bonus question that I did not send you ahead of time. If you could take
Mhm.
one feeling or one belief and bottle it and give it to people, what would it be?
A belief or a feeling.
Mhm.
The belief is we are creative, intelligent, powerful, loving, spiritual beings on vacation.
Love it. What is your why?
Wrote that one down because that was a big question. Oh, I gave you the answer already. My why is showing others how to create harmony in all aspects of their life. All aspects. We can do it. We can.
If you could step into my shoes, what question would you have asked yourself that I didn't ask you?
What's my love language?
Okay, what's your love language?
My love language is creating awesome memories with people I love. I love creating memories, moments, all of it.
If you had the opportunity to sit down and have a 1 hour conversation with one woman, any woman in the world, who would it be and why?
Hands down, Shirley MacLaine. Not as an actress. I learned to admire Shirley MacLaine as a person who embraced spirituality. I'd love to sit down and talk to her about her before and after. She had a wake up and she wrote a book called Out on a Limb. And Hollywood thought she had flipped her switch and was just, she literally didn't get any movie assignments after
Wow.
that. But what I
I did not
admire
know that.
about, yeah, but what I admire about her was having the courage back then, way back then, to talk about her awakening in this
Mhm,
book called Out on a Limb because nobody was talking about it.
mhm.
I would just love to hear her before and after change story. I would love to sit with her and have a great cup of jasmine
Hmm.
tea and
I have
talk.
never, ever had anyone mention Shirley MacLaine.
There you have it. She's a
There I
woo girl. Come on now.
There
We
you go.
woo stick together.
If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
Move your body every day. I say that only because I was a workaholic for 16 years. I didn't know I was a workaholic, but working corporate was not healthy.
Hmm.
And when I had my wake up call, I realized it is vitally important for my spiritual well being to move
Hmm.
my body. And so I try and move every day, do something
Excellent.
every day. Yeah.
Lastly, Don, if you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, your tribe, your people, your corner of the world, what would that last 30 seconds sound like? What words of wisdom would you impart?
I would say, now what I'm about to share with you is actually something that I received while I was journaling. I'm going to share with you exactly the way it was said.
Okay.
As the veils lift and the seals become broken, illusion will fade, and we will come to realize that we are divine, intelligent, creative, loving, powerful spiritual beings here to live, love, grow, and learn. Embrace the lessons on your journey. See the blessing and remember all you need is within you.
What an incredibly powerful and beautiful way to end the interview, Don. Thank you so much for this
Thank you.
beautiful, inspiring, powerful, motivating conversation. It was just so beautiful. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your light that you share with the world through the work you do, your story, your journey, your experiences. I am so grateful to know you, to be connected to you, to have you as a member of the Empowerography community, and to call you a friend. You're a beautiful light in this world. Keep shining bright, and thank you for your time and for sharing all that you shared today. It was such an incredibly powerful experience.
Brad, I feel so blessed that our paths cross. I love all that you're doing in the world, and I love what you're giving all the communities that you're in. And thank you again for inviting me. I really enjoyed our talk.
It is my honor and my pleasure. Once again, my name is Brad Walsh, host of your Empowerography podcast. Today, my guest has been Dawn James. She is a best-selling and award-winning author, a public speaker, a retreat host, a certified sound healer, and a newly crowned life coach. Thank you so much, Dawn. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at visuphoria.ca, follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast, and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.